Wednesday morning, GC. I hope that you are having a good morning. I am super excited to bring you today's book. It is from our Gallatin County Public Library. I was able to call them yesterday and ask them for some books because I felt my selection was getting a little low. So they were able to pull some books for me. The good thing is after I read these, if you want to go check them out for yourself, you can always go down after the chaos dies down and check these books out for yourself down at our Gallatin County Public Library. Today's book is called Joseph Had a Little Overcoat by Sims Tabak. This is a very, very, very unique and fun story to read. It's going to hit 4 habits for us today. Habit 1, because instead of being upset about what's happening to Joseph, our character, he is clever and he comes up with a plan, which is habit 2, to control what he can control. He deals with what he can control and comes up with a plan. So habit 1 and habit 2 are kind of working together today. And also habit 4, because his plan that he comes up with makes him happy. So it's a win-win. He ends up being happy with each plan that he comes up with. And then habit 7, because at the end, there's a surprise ending. He has to express his creativity and sharpens the mind. We'll see what happens. But he does end up doing something at the end that allows him to sharpen his mind and express his creativity. So we are ready to go. Joseph had a little overcoat. I want to take a moment to look at your cover pages. The author and illustrator wanted us to notice that this book is going to have some not information, but it's going to deal with some sewing. And because I see scissors and I see a pin cushion and pins and thread. So I do know that something's going to happen with sewing. And the author did that just to give us a little clue. Joseph had a little overcoat. It was old and worn. And on each page, this book is so neat. I love this book. They give you a cutout to see what he's going to do or what he's going to make out of his overcoat. So were you able to see that? What's he going to do? His overcoat is old and worn. And you see it has patches on it, and it's got some loose string at the bottom. It does look very old and worn. He's probably loved that coat. So he doesn't want to throw it in the trash. So he made a jacket out of it, and he went to the fair. There's Joseph in his jacket. Look, you remember the cutout? Look at this. See? It's right over top of the coat. Isn't that neat? They do that on every page. Joseph had a little jacket. It got old and worn. See? So he made a vest out of it and danced at his nephew's wedding. Joseph had a little vest. It got old and worn. I think that's so neat. So he made a scarf out of it and sang in the men's chorus. There's Joseph with his scarf. I want to stop right here and I want to ask a question about the setting. Do you think that this is happening all in one day, or do you think it's happening over a period of time, like several months or several years? What do you think? If you said several years, you're right. And our clues are that it takes a little time for things to become old and worn. So each time that he makes something, he wears it till it wears out, which means it's probably going a couple of years and then it's wearing out and then he has to make something else out of it. So I would say that this book takes place over several years because it does take time for each thing to wear out. And the author gave us those clues. Here we go. Joseph had a little scarf. It got old and worn. See if you can see what he's going to make next. See it? Any guesses? So he made a tie out of it and went to visit his married sister in the city. Joseph had a little tie. It got old and worn. Miss Wash can't get a hold of the pages. There we go. Look there. Wonder what that is. So he made a handkerchief out of it and drank a glass of hot tea with lemon. Joseph had a little handkerchief. It got old and worn. My goodness. Do you see that little bitty hole right there? It is itty bitty. Any ideas what he's probably turning his handkerchief into? He made a button out of it and used it to fasten his suspenders. And right there is that button. Right there. Joseph had a little button. One day he lost it. Now he had nothing. What will he do? Remember I told you there was a surprise ending that deals with habit 7? So Joseph made a book about it, which shows you can always make something out of nothing. So even though he didn't have anything physically to make, he decided to use what he had in his head and made a book. How clever. So you can make something out of nothing. All right, and at the end, I like, and I'm not going to sing it, but they gave us a song called I Had a Little Overcoat. So if you knew somebody that could play piano or play guitar or something like that, they could play that and let you hear what it would sound like, and you could sing it. This is a really, really, really good book. And I love how Joseph at the end used habit 7 and created something new. He used his mind and sharpened his mind by writing. Guys, this book was awesome because it hit all 4 of those habits. Habit 1, habit 2, habit 4, and habit 7 perfectly. Now, with you at home, you may think you have nothing to do. You've got tons of things you can do. You can go get a piece of paper, create some artwork, make something new, go paint, go outside and draw with chalk on the sidewalk, write a story like Joseph did. Who knows? You may end up with something really cool in the end. Guys, it was so good to read this book to you, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye!